Surprise! We got a Saturday video for the Division Series. Let's talk some playoff baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and that's right, we are here on a weekend. How about that? I couldn't miss this. Honestly, we've been on a roll in baseball, and it's game one of the ALDS and the NLDS series. We got to talk some baseball today. So it does help that my wife is pregnant, expecting her third kid, so she's tired all the time, and so I got the night free. So here we go. But we've gone on maybe the best MLB run ever on the channel. We've won 6 straight, now on a 26-9 run, 9-1 in the playoffs, but baseball can humble you quickly. So hopefully we can keep this rolling into the Division Series. But a quick reminder, both NFL Week 5 videos are out now. The Week 5 game bets, which includes trends and leans, and then the player props and anytime touchdowns bets video is also out. So be sure to check those out before those Sunday games. But quick heads up, winning bets is really important to me this round. But nothing matters to me other than the Mariners advancing. So I will try to not make biased bets, although there is one today you might think is, but that's all I care about. So let's all root for the Mariners. Can we do that? Thanks. The only team that never has made a World Series. Anyways, I'm ready to get going, but before we do, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below in the description. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get it rolling, and a nice little weekend dad joke for you. Here we go. Insurance companies are warning campers. If your tent gets stolen, you won't be covered. In this video, we're going to recap Thursday, and then I'm going to give you 2 series bets. That's right. We went 2-0 in the wild card round on series bets. Let's see if we can go 2-0 again. And then we'll go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the best pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire pitcher report. That's right, all 3 games. And then we'll give you the best bets and the recap to finish it off. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join us. We got NBA right around the corner. We're in the heat of NFL right now as we talk MLB playoffs. So very busy time, but let's get it rolling. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. A beautiful 3-0 day on Thursday. Jack Flaherty under 4.5 Ks, as sweaty as it gets. It looked toast. We had some Guardians just free swinging, trying to be a hero, swinging at pitches in the dirt. It was ugly, but he ended with 4, got in some trouble, and then got yanked. Cubs first 5 innings money line, never really doubt, because the Padres, I mean, they did have one rally going in the first 5 innings, but they just didn't score, didn't hit. And then the Tigers to win the series to finish our 2-0 series bets. Just beautiful. They finally had 1 inning where they got some offense going. It was a struggle all series long, that's for sure. But there it is, 3-0 day, 9-1 up, 4.7 units in the playoffs, 26-9 run. That's crazy. Let's keep it rolling into the Division Series. But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk some series bets. All right, let's see if we can go 2-0 again on the series bets. This first one, Mariners minus 1.5 games at plus 140 on DraftKings. You can call this a homer pick. I'm okay with that. You don't obviously have to tail. But let's break this down. Again, I had to be a little creative this round because these lines are pretty sharp here. But let's break this down with the Tigers. They are exactly a 500 team this year when Skubal is not on the mound. Skubal will be pitching Game 2 against Luis Castillo. Not guaranteed, but let's just say that's their 1 win. Mariners have a big advantage in every other game. Game 1, George Kirby against Troy Melton, which is a bullpen game, really. Game 3, Logan Gilbert versus maybe Casey Mize. And then Game 4, maybe we get Brian Wu of the Mariners if he is healthy enough, or maybe George Kirby again. We'll find out who it ends up being. Going up against maybe Jack Flaherty. I mean, we got matchup advantages pretty much every game. Mariners, one of the hottest teams in the league, you guys know. The lineup has more power than any other team. They live or die by the long ball, but they've been living pretty good because they can hit home runs everywhere in the lineup. It's not just in the middle of the order or anything, but Tigers, you guys know, one of the coldest teams. They won over Cleveland, but let's be honest, they did not impress me or really anybody at all. They continue to struggle with runners in scoring position or just hit in general. It's ugly to watch. They got lucky facing another really bad offense as well in the Guardians, but Mariners bullpen's been, much better. Bazardo's been a huge piece for this team. We know Munoz is one of the top closers in the league. Tigers, they've been okay lately, facing the Guardians lineup pretty much every day for the last 2 weeks, it feels like. Does help, but I give the advantage to the Mariners there. So overall, and again, Skubal is not a guaranteed win because he pitched 10.2 innings versus Seattle this year. The Mariners scored 7 runs off him in 10.2 innings. They got to him in both starts, no problem. So again, not saying they're going to get to him. He's not easy. It's playoff Scoobs. You know how that works, but that's also not a guarantee. So just a lot of advantages here. Again, the Mariners are a team that's never made a World Series. I'm used to watching them, let me down. So maybe they do here. I'm just really hoping they don't. But I think they really got a lot of advantages in this series, and I think they should cruise to an easy win. So give me the Mariners to win in 4 or less games and cover the -1.5 here. That's my first series bet. The second one, Brewers to win the series, -116 on FanDuel. Now, I know the Brewers have been known to choke in the playoffs a little bit lately. I don't really care. The Brewers are out for revenge, first of all, with their old ball coach and Craig Counsell there. He left Milwaukee to have a better chance to win in Chicago, and now he's facing the #1 seed with his old team in Milwaukee. But people have made a ton of money this year betting on the Brewers. Why? Because the books have been very disrespectful with their lines, and we've cashed a lot this year because of it. I think it's continuing here. How in the world, and I get it, it's a divisional matchup and all that, this is the #1 seed in the playoffs, and they're -116 to win against the Cubs. First, they have home field advantage. Brewers were an insane 52-29 at home. Cubs 42-39 on the road. Second, the Cubs rotation is a mess. Do not be confused. That was the Padres offense sucking. Now listen, they pitched okay, obviously, but no Cade Horton is what really tips the scale here. He's been like a top 5 starting pitcher in the league. He's not healthy. They now have to rely on Matthew Boyd, Imanaga, and Taillon versus this team. That's not going to be easy. I trust Peralta and Priester in this starting pitching form a little bit more in their current form. And then this Brewers offense, this is why it's a bad matchup. They crush left-handed hitting. I mean, they have all year. Since August 1st, they have the 3rd highest WRC+, 5th highest OPS in the majors. They will get 2 back-to-back lefties probably to start the series. Matthew Boyd and Imanaga, both of whom they have already crushed a lot this season, and both of whom are not in good form as well. So big advantage there. Again, I'm not even asking them to win, in 3 games, real quick sweep. They just have to win the series here. But bullpen, Valencia, you've seen he's being used in big spots, big leverage spots, whether it's middle of the game, end of the game for the Cubs. He's pitched well lately. Brewers bullpen has not been bad either. They're adding the Miz. That's right. He's going to the bullpen. Good spot for him, honestly. I think he can be good for an inning or two as long as he's just, not throwing balls left and right. But honestly, we're getting -116 for the #1 seed with home field advantage. Give me the Brew Crew to take down their old coach. And that is my second series bet for this round. We'll talk a little bit later about that Phillies-Dodgers series when I give out a best bet. But I'm losing my voice. But right now, I don't have a series bet for that one. So that's what we got for those. Now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, we got quite a bit of good hitter matchups for you today, even though there's only 3 games. And it's because there's a lot of familiarity with the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Aaron Judge, you've seen this before this season, 17 for 48, 9 extra base hits, and 6 Jimmy Jacks off of Kevin Gausman. That's not it. How about Giancarlo Stanton, 10 for 30 with 4 Jimmy Jacks off of Gausman. Paul Goldschmidt, 10 for 22 with 1 home run off Gausman. Ryan McMahon has a home run, 5 for 16. Jose Caballero down there, 5 for 10 against him. Just plug your ears if you're a Jays fan. You guys probably already know this, but they all hit Kevin Gausman pretty well. And then other than that, you also got Teoscar Hernandez, 5 for 12, 2 home runs off of Christopher Sanchez. Kyle Tucker hitting Freddie Peralta pretty well. Over there on the right side, William Contreras, 4 for 9 off the lefty, Matthew Boyd. Kerry Carpenter, this one sucks as a Mariner fan. How about 4 for 8 and 4 ding-dongs? 4 hits, 4 jacks off of George Kirby. Man, I hope that doesn't happen now again. But Vlad, 3 for 7, a couple extra base hits off Luis Gil. And then you see Jake Rogers, everyone's favorite guy to bet, 3 for 7 with 2 home runs off of George Kirby. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. And there it is. Ian Happ, 2 for 32 with 14 Ks off Peralta. Not just that, Nico Horner, how about 5 for 28 with 5 Ks off of Peralta? You see another Cub down there. Seiya Suzuki, 3 for 23 with 12 Ks. Dansby Swanson, 2 for 20 with 8 Ks. I mean, it is absolutely not pretty. Michael Busch, 2 for 16, 7 Ks off Peralta. And then you see Freddie Freeman there, 1 for 11 off Sanchez. And then we end it with Javi Baez and then Carson Kelly, 4 Ks, 1 for 10 off of Peralta. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. And again, these aren't exactly elite matchups, but they're decent enough. At least you can get all the info and make your decision. But Freddie Peralta versus the Cubs. The Cubs, 16th highest K rate versus righties, average, but they are over 23%, which is really the number I look for here, 23.5%. Peralta, 201 Ks in 174.2 innings this season. He has 6+ Ks in 9 straight starts. I'm not counting that 2-inning start to end the season, so 6+ and 9 straight. Much higher K rate at home, 29.5 compared to 26.9 on the road. Not much higher, just a little higher. But a much higher K rate versus righties, 31.6 compared to 24.9 lefties. He has pitched 21 innings against the Cubbies already, and he has 22 Ks. The next one, Shohei Ohtani at the Phillies. Phil's 14th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks at 24%. Ohtani, you see there, 62 Ks in 47 innings. He has 5+ Ks in 6 of his last 7 starts since August 1st. Only under was in Coors Field. Lower K rate on the road, 29.1 compared to 38.5 at home. Much higher K rate versus lefties, almost 40%. I mean, that's insane. 38.6 against lefties compared to 28.6 against righties. He faced the Phillies one time recently on September 16th, 5 Ks in 5 innings. So that's what we got for the strikeout matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the 4 matchups of the day, and we start in Miller Park. We got Boyd versus Peralta. Boyd, he got rocked by Milwaukee this year. He did give up just 4 hits and 1 earned run in 4.1 innings last round against San Diego. He threw just 58 pitches. He's going to be on 3 days rest there, so something to keep in mind. Peralta, 3-1 with a 3.43 ERA and 22 Ks in 4 starts against the Cubbies this season. You see his numbers. He's been awesome. Luis Gil versus Kevin Gausman. Gil, after being left off the wild card roster, he starts game 1. He faced the Jays once and gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings with just 1 strikeout. Gausman, it's been up and down for him against the Yankees, but in 4 starts versus the Yankees, he has a 3.97 ERA, 18 Ks in 22.2 innings. And then we got Shohei Ohtani against the lefty Sanchez. Ohtani last pitched on September 23rd. It was for 91 pitches. He faced the Phillies recently on September 16th. He threw 5 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. And then Sanchez, he has faced the Dodgers twice this year. He's actually struggled, giving up 8 earned runs and just 15 Ks in 12.2 innings. Not just, that's a lot of Ks. But that was versus the Dodgers, going 5.2 and 7 innings, though. So he's still gotten some depth. And then we end it in Seattle. We got Mr. Melton versus George Kirby. Melton, that just means it's a bullpen game. I don't expect more than 2 innings from him. And then George Kirby, I liked what I've seen. I've seen the old Kirby lately. He has 31 Ks in his last 17.1 innings. He has yet to face Detroit this season. So that's what we got for the entire pitcher report and all the research help. Now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Philadelphia, where the Phillies host the Los Angeles Dodgers. Phillies moneyline -123, Dodgers moneyline +101 with a total of 7 runs. Now, I'll give my thoughts on the series real quick, because this is the only one I didn't have a series bet, but in my opinion, on a side, it's a tough call. My lean would be over 4.5 games. I think this one goes the distance. Both teams have been great at home. I can see 2 in Philly winning and then 2 in LA, or vice versa, or maybe they split, but I think this one goes 5 games. But the Dodgers rotation, it looks as good as ever right now. I mean, after Shohei, it's Snell and Yamamoto, 2 pitchers that are practically unhittable right now. On top of that, the Phillies, no Zach Wheeler, have to rely on Suarez, Luzardo, after their ace Sanchez goes. By the way, that's 3 lefties. That's not exactly something you want to do. And against any team, just seeing lefty after lefty. Dodgers bullpen, it's going to be the wild card. Can Roki Sasaki, the youngster, come in and solidify that bullpen like he showed in his last outing? Maybe they put Sheehan out there as well. So, we'll see. But I lean Dodgers in this one because no Zach Wheeler really does hurt. But I like this one to go 5 games. Now, my best bet for this game 1, how about Christopher Sanchez over 17.5 outs recorded, -126 on DraftKings, half unit play. So an over outs play is dangerous in the playoffs. I get that. This is game 1. This is their absolute stud. He is pretty much their main chance to save the bullpen, because we have Luzardo, maybe Nola, Suarez, like we talked about. This is their guy who can go deep into games and kind of set the tone for the whole series. So I think he gets a long leash here. And in fact, this season, obviously, if you don't know, he's going to finish top 3 Cy Young. He's that good. Over this line in 24 of 32 starts, 75%. Nice discount here, I think, just because the playoffs. In his last start versus the Dodgers, he went 7 full innings. He even struggled, by the way. Gave up 4 earned runs, 7 hits, still went 7 full innings. He's a very efficient pitcher, thanks to his command. And he's been absolutely elite at home. How about a 1.94 ERA at home, a 200 average against, a low .9 whip, over in 10 of 15 home games. He's also over in 8 of his last 9 home starts. Facing the Dodgers, not an easy matchup. This is about Sanchez at home right now. We know the Dodgers are good, but he's proven he can go deep against them. They might be, I believe, I didn't check if they're missing their lefty killer and Will Smith as well still. He's too busy, getting jiggy with it. But the bottom of this order can really give him some quick innings, I think. This is more about Sanchez and his excellent command, his dominance at home. He went 2 bad starts versus the Dodgers. Like I mentioned earlier in the pitcher report, not only did he go 7 innings, he also went 5.2 innings. He fell 1 out short, and that was on a bad start. So if he pitches well, he has the ability to go 7 innings into this game. But give me Sanchez over 17.5 outs as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Brewers host the Chicago Cubbies. Brewers on the money line -158. Cubs money line +129 with a total of 7.5 runs. I got another pitcher prop, and this one's ugly. Give me Matthew Boyd under 3.5 Ks -125 on BetMGM for a half unit. This is going to be a massive sweat. From pitch one, I'm losing my voice right now. Sorry, it's getting late, but Boyd in his last 10 starts, he's already under this in 6 of his last 10. I mean, he's averaging just 3.8 Ks per start, so this is not just about a short leash. Last 2 overs were against Colorado and Pittsburgh. I don't think that really counts, to be honest with you. Just not missing many bats. Most of the season, he was around a 24 to 25% K rate. I talked about him wearing down in his last start because he's thrown, a lot of innings compared to what he's used to normally. In September, October, his K rate is all the way down to 14%. That is awful. Now he's facing a Brewers lineup in the last 30 days versus lefties. Hardest matchup you can have. Lowest K rate in the majors, 13.9%. Not just that, Boyd has already faced the Brewers twice this year. What did he do? Well, July 28th, that was when he was in good form, which he's not now. He had 2 Ks in 5 innings. August 19th, 3 Ks in 5.1. This guy has not gone over yet, and that was in the regular season when he had a longer leash. He threw 90 and 91 pitches in those starts. Now it's the playoffs. I expect a short leash. We already saw him not even hit 60 pitches last round. Counsell has no issue pulling him early, especially with the fact that he's on 3 days rest. So I'm expecting 3 to 4 innings out of him. So are the books. They have him under 12.5 outs juice. So I like him to go under yet again versus the Brewers. So give me Boyd under 3.5 Ks as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to Toronto, Canada, where the Blue Jays host the New York Yankees. Blue Jays on the money line -126. Yankees money line +104 with a total of 8 runs. My best bet, Yankees team total over 3.5 at -125 on FanDuel for half unit. Thought about going over in the total game, but let's talk about this one. Team totals can be scary in the playoffs, but let's talk Gausman first. Coming off ending the season badly, giving up 23 hits and 9 earned runs in his last 3 starts. At home, he's actually a little bit worse. Not terrible, but still almost a 4 ERA. As you saw earlier, Yankees hitters have a lot of success off of Gausman, but Gausman has slowed them down in 2 starts this year. So it's going to be very hard to pitch 3 times against the same lineup and shut them down each time. Yankees offense been incredible the last 3 days. You guys know it. They've hit well at home and on the road over this 3.5 line in 8 of their last 10 road games, averaging 5.5 runs per game. Top 5 lineup versus righties. They're guaranteed 9 ABs as the road team. I also love that. I'm not super impressed by this Jays bullpen. They've pretty much just been average the last month of the season, and the Yankees are obviously very familiar with them. So I also like the over 8 if you can get 8 in the total game. I'd probably stay away at 8.5, but I lead in the team total here. I think the Yankees get it done. I don't know if they win because, I don't know if I can trust Luis Gil on the road here in Toronto, but give me the Yankees team total over 3.5. That is my third and final best bet on the video. No best bet right now for the Tigers and Mariners game. We'll see if I add something. The numbers seem pretty efficient, and I don't want to ruin my viewing experience of the Mariners right now. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 3 Game 1 best bets and my 2 Divisional Round Series bets. Sanchez over 17.5 outs. Boyd under 3.5 Ks. And the Yankees team total over 3.5. And then Divisional Round Series, Mariners -1.5 games. And the Brewers to win the series at -116. That's what I got for you. Thank you guys for listening. As always, really appreciate the support. Let's hopefully we keep this run going in the MLB. But hope you have a great Saturday. Enjoy the games, and we'll talk to you soon.